So, everybody knows of Frans Fanon, I think. He was an inspirational political theorist and activist, particularly in the global south, and recently he was one of the icons of the Rose Must Fall and Peace Must Fall movements in South Africa. And while Fanon was also heavily involved in concrete political action, particularly in the Algerian independence war, he was an avid political writer and political thinker. And the central themes in his work, he touched on the philosophy and the psychology of race, which is the focus of Black Skins and White Masks, which we've given you a free copy of that today, at least the conclusion of that today in the pack. He is probably most well known for his writings on revolutionary violence and the necessity of revolutionary violence. But as I'll allude to later, some people disagree with the view that Fanon was a champion of revolutionary violence after all. And what we're going to focus on today is his writing on the political economy of post-colonial society in the text Pitfalls of National Consciousness, which is a chapter from his Wretched of the Earth. So, as I said earlier, there's no single Fanon, and people have interpreted them in many different ways, and many political tendencies have adopted them as one of their own. So Marxists would say that claim Fanon to be one of them. Black nationalists the same, non-racial unionists, and so on. Of course, this is not they're not mutually exclusive, these positions, but it depends on the degree of emphasis. So a quote from Homer Barber from the Forward to Black Skin White Marx, I think, puts it well. The relevance of Fanon's thinking and its importance will shift from time to time and place to place. So the question is, what does Fanon mean today, and how are his ideas relevant to us in South Africa? And so we're going to workshop this today in this chapter, The Pitfalls of National Consciousness, which I read as a speculative chapter, although also based on some empirical studies of post-colonial societies in Africa and Latin America at the time. But ultimately, it's a speculative chapter about how a post-colonial society might develop given certain conditions. And so what Fanon does is he stages these interactions between different groups and classes and individuals within the country, within the society, and how those interactions lead to an unfulfilled decolonization struggle. And the major culprit that Fanon picks out for this failure is the national bourgeoisie. I'm not going to read that quote, but I think that's the basic summation of his thesis, and we'll get into reading the whole article in a second. So the goals of this workshop, we want to stimulate engagement with Fanon's ideas, see how it's relevant for contemporary South Africa, and this conference is about how to transform economics, how to rethink economics for Africa. Part of the problems with economic curriculums is that they don't give students the ability to see the intersection between the economic realm, the social realm, the moral realm, and so on. And this text is a perfect, you're not going to find this text in your average economics course today, but it's a very, very good depiction of those intersections. Now, we want to create an open space for peer learning across social and generational divides, and also part of this conference is about rethinking the way pedagogical practices. So we want to show the value of group reading and conversation as a pedagogical practice. Okay, the guidelines of the workshop, trying to foster an open and friendly environment. We encourage sympathetic and patient conversation between all of you. We expect respectful communication, and we expect that you're all mindful and respectful of the diversity of opinions and voices. Now, as I said earlier, reading Fanon's texts has led to multiple interpretations and opinions. And what I hope to see during the workshop is when you are discussing it, you will see a differences of emphasis and the differences of interpretation. And that's fine. when you communicate to one another and when you communicate to the group, that's what we want to see from the interaction. Okay, so what we're going to do now is split up, I think, into 3 groups. And we're going to do a group reading of the text first, if we want to get the opportunity to introduce one another to each other. And then we will answer the questions. We'll give you each group will get one of those flip chart thingies, and you'll be able to make notes. Question 1 and 2 on one side, question 3 and 4 on the other side. So let's split this up. 5 minutes each. We'll see how long it goes on. We're already over time, so we'll be quick. Can volunteer or a couple of volunteers from group 1? You don't have to go through every question one by one. You can just say what were the key points of the debate, what you find interesting about the text, and so on. Okay.
It's a bit of a jumble because I was just trying to scribble down what everyone was saying. It was a very stimulating discussion, so a lot of shit got said. I'm not sure I'm going to answer questions today. Right,
so basically what got said about the national bourgeoisie in short is that, you know, they're sort of members potentially of almost like an aspiring middle class, but under, you know, colonialism, you know, they've not acquired any sort of means of production, they have no wealth of their own, and they're basically sort of looking to imitate the middle class of, you know, Western colonialism. They sort of aspire to that, but then potentially almost form together to inspire a nationalist movement, which, you know, to many of the, I don't know, the people in the country that are all seeking to depose this colonial government, it sounds attractive, but really it's a bit of a smokescreen that sort of acquire material wealth, really. We don't actually have any aims, or establish like social constructs in order to redistribute the wealth once the independence is actually achieved, which is obviously what can sort of contribute to the collapse or, you know, the ineffectiveness of the government post-colonial regime. And then what was question 2 all about? I've got written here anyway. Underdeveloped seems like they had a sense of there's little imagination, you know, within this national bourgeoisie. It's just that they had something to gain from supplanting the former colonial regime and becoming the new bourgeois class. There's no real social or political aim or acumen beyond the removal of the colonialism, which isn't really, you know, a political aim in of itself. And like a developed bourgeoisie even maybe have a concept of how the wealth should be redistributed in this post-colonial landscape, and sort of maybe even some economic power of their own in order to understand how that might work. For number 3, it's a bit broken to be honest, I don't really know what's on it, but I've got EFF, Economic Freedom Fighters. I don't really know what that is. I've got a sort of like an aspiring bourgeoisie, but this is like, you know, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 bourgeoisies in, I don't know, and it's, you know, there's like a fearful reactionary racism among these sort of people against any trace of colonialism, so, you know, these sort of voids left by what would have been, you know, Westerners filling almost like middle class positions like lawyers, doctors, politicians, etc. There's a void have been sort of quite aggressively removed, and almost all this maybe what is originally like a positive nationalist identity that they're trying to create actually becomes almost ultra-nationalist, that people become divided on racial lines, like this is our country, but rather than this is our country, like we are, I don't know, like the racial, like we deserve to be here and everyone else needs to leave, basically. And so we sort of mentioned that that's maybe come to like an anti-Indian sentiment, some scapegoating going on, potentially some imported racist values like post-apartheid, and then didn't actually get around to writing 4 because I'm not really fast enough to write that fast.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Who from 2?
We'll all sing together.
Okay, comrade, keep it concise, short, to the point.
can first have a short preamble.
No speeches, please.
So, why do we see the rise of xenophobia, tribalism, and racism? So, for us, we were saying that on the one hand, you have a political elite arising from the national liberation movement, and then on the other hand, you have 9/10 of the population who continues to starve to death. And that it is in this context that we see, one, marginalized people picking fights with other races, cultures, nationalities, all in quotation marks, etc., tribes. And the second point is that the political elite use these identities to mask the class structure of society through which they continue to benefit. And so, how can we move beyond this? So I think I would like to go to a quick quote, and it's about 5 pages long. And that is, not to despair, but to organize, and in so doing, reappropriating property, switching from the national consciousness to the social and political consciousness in the distribution of wealth and social relations. And so for South Africa, through organizing and applying pressure to the state and other powers, we need to ensure that we improve education, healthcare, and housing and social services as a means to move toward a different kind of conception of society.
So the final question, we are also building our own social consciousness. Yeah, so I'm not gonna go there. So for question one, we said so I just have like little points. So I said that question one is the elites, those that are given access to the means of production, or those that are basically intermediaries. And then we said these are the and then when the other point of the question was, who are these specific people, or who are the people that Fanon identified? We said it's the metropolitan bourgeoisie, the national bourgeoisie / the elites, and the masses. And then for question two, we said that in terms of what does it mean about them being underdeveloped? And we said that basically they're unprepared. They don't have the skills, they don't have the intelligentsia to be able to then take the hollow shell that was there and reproduce sort of the colonial structures. And then right. So then for question three, we say that so the people realize that the cake is a little bit too small and they can't replicate the cake. So then, and the reason why they realize that they can't replicate the cake is because they want to become the national bourgeoisie, and it's a little bit difficult for them to do so. So what happens, because they're all in the same space, they end up fighting and picking fights with those that are around them, and that's xenophobia and so on and so forth. Yeah. To sum it up.
But also, one point also, for the last question, we are in the same group here. In the same group, is that the shift from national consciousness to class consciousness is happening in this country according to the two-stage revolution. You know, the first stage being the national democratic revolution, which happened with the ANC coming to power, and the second stage being a socialist state. But we will see now energy is crystallized towards that state with the EFF, with land expropriation without compensation. This needs to empower the workers and the poor. So we found out that really that prophecy of Fanon is being implemented here. So that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you everybody. I'm sure there's a lot more conversation to be had. But thank you for your participation. Enjoy your tea and coffee, and we see you.